rescue, former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey reportedly took his own life at the end of a chase with law enforcement in Spring overnight. Monday, the draft hopeful was set to appear before a grand jury, having been accused of killing a man in a car crash and then fleeing the scene. ABC 13's Shannon Ryan is live from the scene of last night's crash along Aldine Westfield Road. Shannon?
Hey there, Tom. You can see there's a pretty substantial amount of damage here where Lacey, we're told, crashed his car after having taken his own life. Tonight, his family and friends are hoping that his story inspires others to check in on their own loved ones. NFL draft hopeful and former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey reportedly died by suicide Saturday night following a law enforcement chase in Spring.
Approaching Cypresswood. Just flew through the light, Cypresswood.
Lacey reportedly took his own life about a day before he was slated to appear before a grand jury, accused of killing a 78-year-old veteran in a December crash and fleeing the scene, according to ABC Baton Rouge.
If we got a pursuit, hold the channel.
In a statement, the Harris County Sheriff's Office said the Precinct 4 Constable's Office was called to an address along FM 1960 just after 11 Saturday night, where Lacey had reportedly shot into the ground during an argument with a family member.
The victim saying that no one got shot. She's saying that he shot the gun and then left.
A deputy constable reportedly found Lacey driving about half an hour later and tried unsuccessfully to stop him, prompting a several-mile chase that ended here along Aldine Westfield, where HCSO says Lacey shot himself, then crashed. His father, Kenny Lacey, putting out this statement on Facebook, encouraging parents to check on their children's mental health. Several athletes also put out statements of their own, echoing his message. Now, to be clear, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is investigating this through their homicide division. They did put out a statement saying they recovered a gun from inside Lacey's car. They also say dash cam video shows Precinct 4 did not fire any shots after this chase was over. Right now, we're still working to clarify that that also means no shots were fired before this chase ended. Shannon Ryan, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
We got a floating head over here.
The amount of time it spent for us to do this, and now we come on. That is funny. Street, woo! It's okay. I'll be 3 people today.
Well, there it is. We in the
I know that's driving you insane. Welcome, everyone. I know it is. I know deep down inside you're like, oh. Welcome, everyone, back. I hope everyone had a great weekend. By the way, can anybody explain that's a police officer? What a great time to have street is. Why do they know that there was no bullets shot at the end of the chase, but we don't know yet if there was any during the chase? Like, how do we know that so quickly? We know that. So what's taking so long for them to come out and say yes or no at this point?
I don't know, man. What I do know is if I sound a little under the weather, I have been. So if I sound a little nasally, Coach, apologize, but it's a sad situation all the way around, right? And unfortunately, the young man did take his life. And I always say when you hear things like this, we can't forget the other gentleman that passed away in the previous incident that he was involved in. I know a lot of times the celebrity overshadows the other victims, but we can't forget that part, that he was in a car. I think he was speeding, swerving, and I don't know all of the details, but I think he was going to face the grand jury tomorrow, or maybe today, actually. And probably was going to be indicted in that case. To what extent, I don't know. I don't know what they were going for, murder 2, murder 1, I don't know. But what I do know is, I guess, he had a lot on his mind, bro. I mean, you could be looking at 25 to life. You talking about he's 24 years old. He don't get out till he's 49, 50.
Yeah.
He won't be as old as me, but he definitely be about your age. And and so with that being said, I mean, for a young man that seemed to have had it all or was on the road to having it all and to lose it all over a stupid mistake. And I know Street always talks about this. Matter of fact, shout out to my dog Street.
Shout out to Street.
He's stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, trying to land on a soft spot, if you understand what I'm saying. That's the best I can give you right now.
Hi, Street. When you watch this, I hope you appreciate, I'm doing your body some justice over here.
Street, how you have grown. That's all I'm going to say. But with that being said, I mean, it's an unfortunate accident and incident. And, the young man felt the only way out was to take his life. And, he may have eased his pain, but created a lot of pain for others, that loved him. So, that's tough work right there.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of news about this and so forth and so on. And I'll just bring this up. I scour the internet. I don't even watch television. I don't think I've had cable since like 2010. So like YouTube and, clips or whatever is kind of how I entertain myself when it comes to TV type deals. And I was watching Coach JB and his headline comes up. He's a coward. I'm like, what in this dude talking about? I know he got some shock jock value to him, some Howard Sternish type things and so forth. But
oh my gosh, sorry, you just missed the big fish.
Oh, he'll be back.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I sprinkled a little breadcrumb. You from around Carroll City, we used to go fishing with bread. You put the bread in your mouth, make a dough ball, put on the hook, and catch a little brim. That's how we used to do it. But anyway, he had an outlandish take saying he was the headline said he was a coward. And he goes on to talk about, if you watch it, right? I think that's the clickbait piece. But if you go on to talk about it, he really dives deep, I think, in his little monologue. He's talking about how it was created. And he's talking about how young men are being created, in essence, to take the easy way out. And he linked it back into the transfer portal when things don't go easy. You can quit at any given time, so forth. Go watch it for yourself. I don't necessarily agree with the use of the word coward, but I did understand what he was saying about how it was created through society where, and I've said this before, I have no statistical data on this, but I do believe that the suicide rate is high, and it's just on outside looking in because people are being told no. And for so long, they've had people say yes to all kinds of things. You could do whatever you want, whatever you want. And when somebody decides to say, no, I can't handle it. But mommy, can you fix it? No, mommy can't fix everything. You know what I mean? And so forth. What's your take on this situation? And then we could dive deeper into, or maybe we can even play this clip. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like this is a multifaceted issue, but I feel like we always try to put it into one thing. And I think we've always had an issue in society with how we baby and care for athletes. Mm-hmm. Always, right? We've always babied them. We have crazy fans out here that feel like that they have to defend these guys' honors. No matter what they do, they will defend these guys and girls to the end of time, repeatedly, no matter what. But then when something happens, we always revert back to the simple answer of check on your friends. And it's like, no. There is a system in place that is doing this, right? Because let's be honest, a lot of athletes don't even know how to go to the doctor. A lot of athletes don't even know where to go pick up their medicine. A lot of athletes don't even know anything about life that the basic people have to just do all the time because we've always babied them. So my issue is we say things like JB says, where they're babying, they're getting told, yes, you're being. As adults, we are also a part of that system that is doing the babying.
And that's what.
And so that's right. And so it's like there's this weird dichotomy where it's like how dare him do this thing, and check on your friends and check on this. But it's like, but as an adult, where do we take a stand to do better? Because I can guarantee you one thing, the 15-year-olds right now that are gearing up to about to play football here in Texas, I know they're already getting babied. They're getting measured for shoes and jerseys and uniforms, and they'll have 17 different jerseys and 17 different shoes. And if they're not passing in their classes, we don't care that they're not passing in their classes. But then when they get into it to be an adult, we're like, why can't you handle it? And I'm like, because we never taught them. And so anyways, I just feel like as adults, we do a really good job complaining and whining about all the things that aren't going right, but we forget we're the people that aren't doing it right. Like, it's us.
True story. True story. True story. And I always said, the generation before you does what the generation after you does what the generation before you allows. Right? We are the rule setters, they are the rule followers. Right? And that kind of ties into what we're going to talk about with Nico a little bit. But to that point, the whole idea is, of course, you want your kids or the generation after you to have it easier than you had it.
Correct.
I think we understand that. And I think every generation comes up and you say, well, dang, how much easier can it get? Right? When you look at this, it's somehow like, because we think we had it rough. But if you go talk to our parents and our grandparents and their grandparents, man, we walking on easy street. Well, then these dudes here, and it just trickles down. And I'll go back to this and say, and part of what he did saying this was, we as the adults are the problem. He said even coaches are the problem, because we will take up for the foolishness and get them out of it, right? For example, we all applauded Mike Gundy for saying he's going to punish Ali Gordon for what he did with the DUI by giving him the ball 50 times.
Yep. So he can benefit from the results.
And so there you go. And that's what the real story is.
Yep.
Because these players and whatever people, whatever situation can make your life better, easier, whatever, is why you do it. Because we're not fighting for the guy that offers you nothing.
No.
I used to say that all the time about IMG when I was coaching. I never liked the model of IMG because I always felt like the high school coach got robbed. You go in for 2 years, 3 years, and you build this young man up to this 3-4 star. You've developed him, in essence. IMG comes in, gets him that senior year. Oh my God, he's part of IMG, but the little man has built him up, right?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing with the transfer portal. They come get the guy out of FIU. Oh my God, he's a star. Well, for 3 years, he's been developed and all this by this guy. He spends 12 games with this coach, and forever Power 4 school follows his name, such and such from Power 4 school, But the dude who spent 3 years over here getting developed, was recruited and all of that stuff. So I'm saying all that to say is that when I was talking about IMG, if y'all really care, go get them juvenile kids out of those that made a mistake and go grab those dudes and put them in a new environment because they stay on campus. Then you showing me something. But to go take a kid out of his home that's already got 25 offers, what are we talking about?
Yeah, what are you actually doing? Like,
right.
What are you? And that's the thing. I feel like, and we always talk about this like at the end of the show, right? We're talking about like what women want and what men want women to know and all these things. And it's like at the core of us as human beings, we've lost the battle in taking accountability. Nobody wants to be accountable for anything they do anymore. Nobody wants to be accountable for failing to raise your kids properly. Nobody wants to be accountable for not giving your student athletes the actual tools they need to be successful in society. We don't want to be accountable for real things anymore. So instead, we pass the buck. Well, in the high schools, they should teach them. So when they come to college, we don't have to teach them. Well, yeah, but no. Like, the old saying, it takes a village. We have failed at that. But nobody wants to stand up and say we have failed at that. And it starts with kids can't go outside and play anymore. So they're on their iPads. Okay, cool. Then how are we giving them that social interaction? Well, parents are supposed to do that. and you're in the school system. You don't have to say anything about school system, but I'm just saying all of these things are failing, and nobody wants to stand up and say we are failing. Like
nobody wants to say
failing.
no.
Yeah,
because if
we're
a parent
failing.
goes in there and complains, they're going to fold.
That's it, right? Because we're failing, and that's it. It's like at every level we're failing, right? Nobody wants to be the person that says no. That's a fail. Nobody wants to be the person that holds somebody accountable. That's a fail. We're all failing. We're all failing. Nobody is willing to say, I screwed that up, and this is how I'm going to fix it. We don't do that anymore.
Right. And the CYA society is in full fledged.
That's it.
Right. Everybody's the cover your ass society.
That's it.
Really, it really was him over there. It really wasn't.
It was him.
It really was her. It was really her.
I didn't really do it. Yeah.
And so that's back to when I always say we are scared to tell people no. Right. Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, somebody comes into the school. I've said this before, but somebody comes into the school, her child has all D's and F's, and she says the New York school system is harder than the Florida school system, so she should have C's. And what did they do? They changed it. They gave her C's because she came in there with a card from a lawyer and said, and so instead of fighting that and standing your ground, I'd rather just give it to you. Oh, that's just one kid that got by. But if you multiply that time, school after school after school after school after school, or whatever, it just nonstop. So I know we kind of just ran a little bit, but back to Kyron Lacy really quickly. That situation, it is unfortunate that, the young man did take his life. He probably was going to be facing some serious time. And we're back to these young guys and money, fast cars. like even JB said. They don't even know how to drive a Prius yet, and you giving them a car with 700 horsepower.
Right. But also, JB, you're talking about them berating them for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we always do this thing. And this is honestly, this is why people always get mad at me, because I always say, I don't pick a side. I'm going to write it right down the middle, and I can argue either side you want me to argue, because that's how I see the world. Because once you tilt to one way or another, you are now part of the problem. Go with me here. And so I'm just saying, like, come and swim with me in the tank. Anyways, so there's a huge issue here when it comes to the overall standard. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are okay with nobody taking accountability. And a lot of people benefit from nobody taking accountability. And let's just get on to the Nico situation. Another situation where it's like, who's responsible? Well, they're both responsible. In my opinion, Nico decided he didn't want to be there anymore. He wanted more money. Tennessee said no. He left. Both of them are accountable for the same thing. Like, you want something? I say no. Okay, what do you do? And so I feel like this whole world of sports that has really taken over our life and making so much money for so many people, now money is ruling. Nobody wants to step up, or then we get mad when the kids want more. Well, when have they ever been told they can't have more?
Right. And so, to your point, I think there's a third element too, is the NCAA, the rule makers, right? Mm-hmm. Or the lack thereof in this case.
Right. Yeah. Because where are they?
But they gave you what you wanted. And here's back to these fans. How many people put in the chat? I hope y'all be honest. The players should get paid. Blah, 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 blah. Now they're getting paid. Now they're finding loopholes. And everybody's laughing at Tennessee because it's not your team.
Right.
But when it's your team, y'all be ready to burn jerseys too. Right?
Right.
Y'all, man, they out there burning number 8 jerseys. He sucked. He wasn't good if it wasn't for our defense. And I understand all that. Fine. But when you have a land without laws, this is what you get.
This is what you get.
This is exactly Lord of the Flies, right? Am I right? Is that the right movie?
Yeah. I don't know, but this is what it is.
Sons of Anarchy.
This is what they've been fighting, though, right? Like, this is the whole. My thing is like it really trips me out how we tell people like this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, and then things happen and people are like, well, why does he want more money? I'm like, because he can ask for more money,
and it's fair.
And right, and that I always tell people too. It's like we get mad at these college athletes for wanting more. If you had the courage to go ask your boss right now for a raise, would you do it? If you knew your boss had plenty of dispensable money, because let's not sit here and act like University of Tennessee didn't have the money to give him if they wanted to. If you knew your boss had money to spare, would you have the courage to go ask your boss for a raise? And if the answer is no, you're lying to yourself because we all know it. Or you just don't have the courage. Right. And so I'm not mad at Nico for having the courage, just like I'm not mad at him now that he's out of a job and he has to go find somewhere else to go. Because that's the power of no.
As the Jamaicans say, job soon come, bread run.
That's it.
Hey, what's up with you, boy? How you doing, man? Listen, man, shout out to the homie. But really quickly, but to that point. So here's why the fans, as to A's point, saying fanatical, I understand it's their team. Mm-hmm. Everybody else laughing at them. And then you flip it to your team. Now you're going to be pissed. If your starting quarterback comes and decides, hey, I'm finna pull one of these holdout moves. But let's go back to the deal. He said, I got y'all by the brass ones, for lack of a better term. And he says, listen, I don't even know who their backup quarterback is. I'm not a fan of Tennessee. But whoever your backup is, you better be ready to ride with him.
That's it.
Not, now, here's what I'll say. I know, I can speak my Miami Hurricane stuff. And Coach Cristobal came out
You're going to have to, because, Texas doesn't have those problems. Hook them. Go ahead.
Well, hold up. Swole up. Hold up. Matter of fact.
Come on. I had to sneak it in there. Go ahead.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna use Texas as an example, but I'm gonna go back to Miami. Mario Cristobal comes out and says, we're not playing those holdout games. All right, coach, that sounds great on the surface. But now that the loophole has been exposed, let's just say Carson Beck says, I want more money, coach.
Yeah.
And you say, I don't play them holdout games, broke elbow. And he dips. Well, the dude behind you got you by him. Emory Williams like, well, coach, you ain't got nobody but me now. So, coach, I'm going to need some of that money. And you like, I don't play them games. Get out of here. Not a Judd Anderson and Luke Nickel like, coach, I'm the last of the Mohicans, baby. I'm going to need that $4 million deal that you had Carson Beck with, because people could talk that talk. And now the odds of that actually happen are very slim. But I'm just saying that these players had the courage, back to what you were saying, because they got these teams by the cojones. They got them.
They do. Mm-hmm. And the coaches know that.
And they know that. And here's the funny thing. Coaches can't come out and speak against it because they are not allowed to be part of the NIL collective negotiations. That's where the problem lies. That is really where the problem lies in this. And that right there. Oh, godly.
Are you laughing at Ellen?
Yeah, Ellen P. She said nuts. Say nuts. Shout out to Ellen P, the producer, Ellen MVP. I'm glad you're back on vacation. And I docked your pay. But I hit you up with 12 no call, no shows, Ellen V. Anyway.
Welcome back, Ellen.
But just saying that, right? You look at it and you say to yourself, see, when does this stop? And how this stops, like everybody else did, is what? They have rules and deadlines in place. And I'll just say this last piece, I'll let you kind of respond here. When people say, oh, well, coaches get paid, I agree.
They always are okay with the coaches. Always are okay with the coaches.
But coaches also have buyouts. See, there's the difference. And coaches ain't dipping in April. They're not leaving in April. You may have a one-off that may get a league job or something, but I doubt the head coach does that very much so.
Yeah.
But they have deadlines and they have these contracts. So my thing is, and that's where that name, image, and likeness gets fuzzy. If you're the collective is really the problem. The collectives are truly the problem. What's your thoughts on all this?
I think there's a lot of problems here, though, because let's be honest. I feel like we've had this conversation 97 different ways. And at the end of the day, we always come back to, if you only have one transfer portal, none of this even matters. If you limit college football to one transfer portal and the transfer portal window, I feel like college football should be bumped up a little bit. I think the season should actually end well before it does. And I think before kids have to be enrolled in school and all of those things, I think you have a transfer portal window, leave it open for 2 weeks or 7 days, whatever the thing is. Let them transfer one time. Once the one time is over, then it's over. Because if you've noticed, a lot of the issues are happening on the second go around. And it's like everything is happening because it's like what it feels like is happening is these coaches are just bumping it back and they're saying, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Right. We know that. We know that battle cry. We have jobs. We know the boss that you show up to a meeting to talk about the one thing and then it gets bumped back and bumped back and bumped back. And that's probably what's happening. But now you have the second transfer portal. I think if you close the second transfer portal, I almost feel like you would solve a ton of issues.
Second, third, and fourth one. That's the problem.
Right. Well, right. Yeah. And then there's like graduate and all this thing. But my thing is I feel like what's happened is not only have we opened the floodgates, we've opened the floodgates and we're allowing student athletes to pick and choose what they want to do. Okay. If that's the rule, that's the rule. Cool. However, don't whine and complain about the rule as a fan. It's the rule. You can't get mad at him.
Right.
Why did you? Because my thing is this. If you're a Tennessee fan and you went to go watch Nico play football last year and you only paid $50 for your seat to sit in the 400s and somebody else paid $150 to sit on the 50 and yell and scream at him. What if he appreciated the guy that spent $150 and he doesn't like the guy that spent $50? My point is we try to tell them what to do, but we don't want them to tell us what to do, right? Hell, I can only afford to sit in the 400s. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of my business. You know what I'm saying? But we're all up in his business. And that's my issue. Is like we treat these athletes like we own them. I just don't understand that. And we get so mad. Like people are mad at him.
They're hot. They ain't mad. They 30 ain't hot.
I mean, the racists have all the racist people are livid. I mean, they don't even know what race he is, but they are going all in on whatever race they think he is. And it's like, I'm like, I don't think like that joke doesn't actually make sense for the race he is, but okay. I mean, they're livid. So that's all I always say. You know me, I'm all about minding my business. So I'm going to mind my business. So I'm not mad at Nico. I'm not mad at any player that enters the transfer portal ever. Do what you got to do. Because you know why? And then I'll stop talking. These coaches are lying to these athletes anyway. And the second you realize that this is all like, you want these athletes to stay in a place where they feel like they are being undervalued, where these offenses, they don't feel like are working for them. Because I also heard that Nico has been asking for the offense to be changed. And he's been asking for certain things to fit his skill set. And they were telling him they were going to provide it. And they never provided it for him. And so he started complaining. Because he's like, this is what I want. And he didn't get that. But I guarantee you, the first time he went for the salary negotiations, they told him they were going to take care of it for him. We're going to take care of it. Don't worry. We'll take care of it. We'll make it happen. And they didn't. And so now people are mad that Nico's standing up, but not getting mad at the coach for not holding up their end of the deal. So why do we get mad at these athletes but not these coaches that are lying? Because they lie to us every time they come to and get a microphone in front of their face. We know all of your teams aren't good. We know. We know all of y'all can't stop the run. We know all of your team, all of your players aren't good. We know you have weaknesses. You're lying.
Yeah, listen, I mean, and to that point, right? That's exactly what it is. But here's what I will say about Nico. I think he had a mediocre campaign as a sophomore, first year starting. He was 213 of 334 for 63.8%, 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 picks. I mean, nothing to write home about, but he's using his leverage. Now, here's what I want to ask you, though, Flo. I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Do you feel the timing of this is suspicious? That's my question.
I think every
I'm just waiting for a fish to be eaten in the back. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What? Oh, did it come back? I missed it.
I've been wanting to say this for the longest. Go ahead.
Yes, because these programs are manipulative. Your favorite program and your favorite coach is manipulative. All of these coaches are manipulative. Yes, this was done intentionally. Yes, absolutely. Yes. They don't just do things for fun. This is a business. That's why I don't get mad at the players. And do you think, like, here's what I also feel like, because the longer this goes on, and I made a video about this. If you want to watch my video, go check on Really Flawed on my YouTube channel. I think this is a setup. I think the coaches might be trying to pull a heist. I think they're trying to get back a little bit of power right now. If Nico enters the transfer portal and he does not have the tag on him that says he's designated to go somewhere, I think there's something going on here, because somebody has reached out to him. He didn't just wake up one morning and go, I want 4 million. I don't believe that to be true. Somebody had to either show they were interested. Somebody had to do something, because why else would anything be released, right? Because that's how things get leaked, is because people are talking, people hear in the back channels, because all these programs are doing this, and then it leaks out, and so it comes up. So who reached out?
Apparently, according to Dan, we don't do this for clicks. Lanning said that Nico's camp reached out to them, and he went and told Coach Josh Heupel that someone from Nico's camp reached out to him about coming to Oregon. Am I correct? Yeah, I'm correct in that.
But my issue with that is this. There were rumors of Nico talking to people in October and November. So what are we talking about here?
Here's what I'll say. Everybody talking to somebody, right? I can send my dog over there to go talk to somebody to put out the filler. We already know what the street agents are. We know how that works. Here's what's interesting. I saw a clip with Kirby Smart, and he was talking about Zoom calls. Did you see this?
No.
I'm not sure how recent it was, but Kirby was talking about, he said people will call these outsiders, I'm going to just call them street agents, will set up a Zoom call with you as the coach to say, hey, coach, because technically, see,
you can't talk.
It's like lawyers. Lawyers get paid to find the loopholes. That's how they beat the law. And then the law comes in and says, okay, let's change it, right? Or it becomes case law. Such and such versus state of Florida, blah, blah, blah. And they use that as precedent. Okay, here we go. Kirby Smart was saying that street agent X comes and says, hey, I got a Zoom call. Here are a list of players that are going into the thing. Now, technically, Georgia would not have contacted them, like the player. Technically, the player has contacted the university. He said, but here's the problem, right? Because technically speaking, Hayes University can't reach out to Really Flawed and say, hey, you want to come in the portal and come play for me? But you can reach out to me. But you can reach out to me and say, hey, coach, I'm interested. Once I get in the portal, but we got it. Here's what's interesting. Kirby Smart says, what if I get on there, some of my players on the damn list?
Right.
This is a holy hell mess. We knew it was going to be there. People could talk what they wanted about Coach Saban. He saw it. He said, man, before I have a losing record as a coach, I'm getting the F out this junk.
Yeah. And he did the right thing.
And just like you saw, the coach from Boston College, he left and went to the league. You're like, bro, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
I also think too, though, a lot of what goes back to kind of what we started with, right? Is again, who's accountable for this? Let me tell you who's accountable. We're raising children to be this way as 18, 19-year-olds. And then you have the agents and the parents coming in and adding to it. Everyone is responsible. Everyone is accountable because it keeps going. It keeps going. And yes, you have this isn't everybody, right? Everyone, you always say everyone's not after the bag. Everyone's not going to do the thing, right? It's like if somebody leaves your team, they say it's because of the bag, right? But if they come and join your team, you never say it's because of the bag, right? Like we all know how this works. But at the end of the day, I honestly truly believe Tennessee screwed this up. I believe Tennessee screwed this up, and I believe Tennessee called his bluff. And I think that they thought it was going to work because it had worked before, and then it didn't work. That's what I honestly think.
Zaquan Patterson in the portal.
Who is that?
Somebody gave him the bag. Oh, somebody paid him the money, dog. He didn't want to leave.
He got the bag.
That was our safety, man, from Sean. Man, but
what was he, a safety?
Yeah, Zaquan.
Yeah, but could he tackle?
No, yeah, that we ain't worried about.
Oh,
but
okay.
he's young. He young kid. But like, anyway,
well, you know why he left though? Because of the bag, obviously. Would you like to be respected in your privacy while you grieve for 5 seconds?
We have a moment of
silence. Play that violin.
I'll throw your U's up for a moment of silence for you.
You got to play your violin as a goodbye.
Damn, Zaquan. So here, okay. I have a different take.
Okay.
I believe that Nico's being poached without playing a spring game. So that's why Miami could have played spring game so the fans could have watched spring game. So we don't have to watch cell phone clips of the spring game and try and make an assessment of these players come August 31st on a Sunday when we play Notre Dame. Now that I got that.
Wait. Did you get to go? Did you get to go to the game? To the spring practice thing?
I wasn't going down there because they only let 500 people in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I was 501. So they said no.
Okay.
And if I would have came, Zaquan Patterson wouldn't have left. But anyway, I believe Nico, this is just an educated guess. Fun. I believe that Nico is being poached. He's being poached by a team, I'm going to just say in the top 12. Maybe top 15.
Ooh, let's list some teams you think of that are poaching.
All right, hold on. The top 15.
Okay, sorry, get to it. Okay, yeah.
I want to set the table here. And then
let me take my notes.
So the top 15 team, and here are the two reasons. Here's two reasons why Coach Hayes thinks that Nico Amaleva, and I hate jacking up names, I tried my best, did what he did. He was willing to stay at Tennessee. They didn't match the bread. Fine. Team X comes in and says there are two potential reasons why we need somebody else. One, their quarterback is hurt that they're counting on.
Okay.
He got hurt in the spring, some form of fashion. Or two, that potential starting quarterback is not who they thought he was, and they learned that during spring practice. And he has more upside than what they currently have on the roster.
Okay, so if that's the case, and then just in case people aren't aware of this, because he's in the SEC, he cannot go back to any SEC team. He has to go out of the SEC.
Which he's a Westward cat. He's a Westward cat.
So
that's what the SEC has that rule. They have that rule that you can't transfer SEC to SEC
after the spring. So in the winter, you can do whatever you want. But for the spring portal, you can't go from SEC school to another SEC school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So having said that, if I were a team where I'm looking at my quarterback situation and I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. Ohio State probably might think that. I could see Oregon.
Coming? Okay, but hold on. Let's talk Ohio State. We know they quick to get the one and done's, the Will Howard, so forth. Who's the guy coming in for them? Who would be their quarterback coming in? Devin Brown, Aaron Nolan left, right?
Yes, it's if you say his name, I'll know his name.
Oh, Julian. Hold up.
Julian Sand.
Julian Sand.
Yeah.
Transferred from Alabama.
Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be their guy.
Aaron Nolan left.
He left.
But this will be Julian Sand's first year now.
Correct. So true freshman.
That goes to my point.
Exactly.
He may not be what they want. Okay. So Julian Nolan. Julian Sand.
Okay. So I mean, should I say what I really want to say? I mean, if Carson Beck's arm isn't quite, I mean, give him a call.
I say you want to be starting something.
I mean, like what does this say? Your best availability is your ability, or whatever it is. I mean, Carson Beck's arm, we don't know what his elbow's going to look like. I mean,
he's supposed to start throwing today.
I mean, why not call? Why not reach out? Why not call? What do you have to lose?
Can we just go in order? Always want to start. How about the Texas Longhorn? What if Arch Manning is not what we think he is?
He could be, but he's not leaving right now. He could not be what we think he is. Like, I'm on record as saying this. Arch Manning could be the worst quarterback in college football next year. He's going to be a Texas Longhorn in 2025. So,
Oh, Drew Allar, Penn State. Okay, I'm looking at the ESPN's early top 25.
Penn State.
Drew Allar is coming. No, but he's coming back. I think Drew Allar. Notre Dame is 4. They're looking for. They got Riley Leonard, but he's gone. So I don't know who their quarterback is.
Notre Dame's a good one.
The coaching staff is excited about freshman C.J. Carr, the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr. So he's
but what year is he? Yeah, true freshman.
It just says freshman. I don't
okay, so far who we have? We have Ohio State. We have Notre Dame. Who's number 5?
Number 5.
Wait, so who is? Can you tell me who 1 through 4 is?
Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame.
That was such a setup, but he fell for it. Okay, Notre Dame.
You heard me take the deep breath, so don't act.
Okay, who's number 5?
The Georgia Bulldogs. SEC can't happen, so skip.
They can't happen. Yeah.
The Oregon Ducks. Old Dan Snitching Lannon.
Oregon. I'm adding Oregon to the list. What do you think?
A damn sure possibility. Sometimes you just hide in plain sight.
Yeah. Sometimes the easiest answer is the answer.
You know that cousin that'll stole your stuff and help you look for it. You know what I'm saying? Man, let me look at this stuff. Man, I don't know where your wallet went. And it's his back pocket the whole time.
Okay, who's after Oregon?
The Clemson Tigers.
They like their guy. What is it, Klubnik?
Yeah, Clubfoot.
Yeah, I don't think they would go after Nico. Do you think they would go after Nico?
I don't think so.
Yeah, LSU can't.
Especially the way Dabo talking about transfer portal.
Right, and Klubnik played well. I mean, yeah. So, and LSU can't. So who's next?
The LSU Tigers.
They can't. They're in that.
Here at Newsmeyer. Okay. Oh, this would be a real shakeup. The BYU Cougars. Here's what's interesting. Head coach Kalani Sitake.
Well, I'm just gonna say something. And if you don't know anything about BYU, this is gonna come out all kinds of wrong. Has Nico already had sex? Because if he has, I think he's broken like the rule of chastity or something like that. So I don't think he can go there.
Bro, I'll just say this. This got to be the most oxymoronic team there is. You got a Polynesian head coach, the Jewish quarterback, 26-year-olds that's married with wife, kid. Matter of fact, the tax day is tomorrow. They already got their taxes in.
Like you can't have sex, you can't drink alcohol, you can't drink sodas, you can't drink coffee, you can't watch I don't think I just made that up.
Well, the BY Jew, as he has coined it, and no, listen, he's literally coined this, and he has trademarked the term the BY Jew, Blake Retzlaff. That was a whole thing this year. So you got a Polynesian quarterback with a Jewish quarterback with a Polynesian a head coach in a morning school. You can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't. That's what I call diversity. Okay.
Now that
the
is
other
diverse.
thing is too, they have the money. They could pay him today.
Oof. All right.
I'll do an asterisk. I'll do if he's had sex though, it's out.
And he's going west. That's gonna help him.
And he's going back west. Yeah. Okay. Who's the next team?
South Carolina's an SEC school.
Yeah.
I don't see him going to Iowa State.
No.
Alabama is SEC. I don't see him going to the Illinois Fighting Illini.
Do they have a quarterback though?
Luke Altmaier.
Who's that?
He's returning. I don't know.
Okay. Do we think he's better than Nico?
I don't know. I mean, it's Illinois. They're trash.
What? Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
You know they're ranked higher than my Canes. They trash. Arizona State, for some reason, always gets these guys. I don't know why.
But no, they like their quarterback. Remember Levitt? He was a freshman last year or whatever. Yeah. Who's next?
Kevin Jennings at SMU. I think Coach Rhett Lashley at SMU is quarterbacked out. He's got Kevin. He had Stone, whatever his name was, something Stone. You had matter of fact, your boy TVD is now at SMU. Tyler Van Dam.
How many quarterbacks do they got?
I don't know, but he ain't going there. Everybody keeps talking about North Carolina. I saw the North Carolina thing on Instagram, and I saw that, but we ain't get there yet. Sometimes, so y'all be the people at the comedy show telling out the punchline before the comedian gets.
They're like, wait, listen to this part. Listen to this part. It's coming. It's coming.
It be in the movie. Watch this. She gonna trip and fall. And why Jason gonna get her. Watch.
Okay. Who else is on our list? Who's next? I can't wait to add these Canes.
The Hoosiers, the Indiana Hoosiers. The fact that, can I say this? The fact that their key returning players has no quarterback on it might be a sign.
Ooh, Indiana doesn't have a returning quarterback?
Not a key returning player. He might be a guy returning, but he ain't a key returning player.
Adding him to our list, he's going to get an asterisk.
Curtis Rourke, who's their quarterback, he's gone.
Okay. Who's next?
Here we go, baby. But you kind of messed me up.
I'm sorry.
Because I didn't know about the SEC. I didn't know about the SEC rule.
Oh, okay.
Damn sure.
See, that's what you keep me around for.
I was thinking about these Florida Gators.
Oh, yeah.
We sure haven't seen Lagway throwing, so maybe he had a little tendonitis.
Don't wish that on that.
No, I'm not wishing. I'm saying maybe he hasn't been throwing. So I was saying he could be a one and done for DJ while he heals.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fair. That's valid. But yeah, he can't go there.
Even though Nico got more than 1 year left, but it's like, look,
he can just go somewhere else if he wants to.
Right. Because I'm gonna bring up a kid. I thought he had a very interesting look. I think I'll play this clip. All right.
If you don't go to this list, talking about play this clip.
No. I'm gonna go to the list, but I'm gonna play this other clip later. Guess who the next team is? Just guess.
What's the rank?
19.
Where's Miami?
Don't do that. See?
Is it not them?
Who's 19?
Is it the Colorado Buffaloes?
The Tennessee Volunteers. Oh. So we know they them.
Okay.
The Louisville Cardinals.
Now that's interesting. Do they have a quarterback? Because they just lost their guy, right, to the draft.
Yeah, Tyler So left. Chris
Okay.
Bell is a returning receiver. The running back is there.
They got that running back. Yeah. And then the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm adding them to my list.
Then you have Michigan.
Who? Oh, yeah. They're not going to take him.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M, Marcel Reed.
Well, they can't. They're in the SEC. Who's 22?
We're 23.
Who is 22?
Texas A&M.
Oh, okay. Miami Hurricanes, 22. Yes.
No, Texas A&M is 22.
Right. Y'all are 23.
God damn. The hate is real.
Only you smile anytime Miami, you're always going to smile. Okay. So who's tell me 24, 25.
Boise State.
I don't think
and then Ole Miss. I think he's good.
He can't go to Ole Miss. It's SEC.
Right. So here's my question. Is there a westward school
So hold on, Gregory. He cannot go to the SEC because in the spring, SEC schools can't transfer between each other. So once after the winter portal, you can't go from an SEC school to another SEC school. So that's why he can't go to any of these SEC schools. So people in the chat are saying UCLA or USC, but I think from USC has came out and said that they're not interested. They're not looking for a quarterback. But have they had their spring game?
Who was that?
USC.
Oh, I don't know.
Have they had their spring game? By the way, I just want to say something too, because I believe all coaches lie. So any coach that is coming out and saying that they don't want Nico, I think that coach wants Nico. So listen, I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? Any coach, in my opinion, that comes out and says, oh, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. You are very much interested, because as a human, you couldn't not say it because you know you're thinking it. So you're paying attention. You know what's going on. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go off the soapbox. I know for a fact there is a coach that has said that he is not interested, and I know somebody on the coaching staff, and they are interested. So they are lying to you. So I'm telling you right now, do not listen to these coaches. Stop trusting these coaches. They lie. They lie. So back to my list. Ohio State needs a quarterback. They're interested. Notre Dame needs a quarterback. They're interested. Oregon has the money to pay, and they've got some guys that I don't know if they're going to turn out to be, so they're interested. They're keeping lines of communication open. BYU, I don't think he'll go there. He's had sex. That's illegal, so he's not going there. Indiana, I don't think he'll go there. I don't know. I don't think he'll go there. Louisville is a good one, actually, because the running back there playing in the ACC, he'd be what, 4 hours from where he's currently located right now. So I kind of like that as a sneaky one. The Miami Hurricanes are interested also, because nobody knows what's going to happen to Carson Beck. They're interested. Okay. And I'm just going to say this. A lot of these teams are interested. If you see a coach come out and be like, no, we're good. No, we're good. We're not looking. They're looking. Okay. Because they're paying attention. You know who else I'm thinking about? What about like a Texas Tech?
So this is what I want to say. Let's talk about teams that may be outside of the top 25.
Okay. Texas Tech would be my first team outside of the top 25 that I would go. They probably have the money. Their offense slings the ball around. They're in the Big 12.
Here's what I'll say. You know me, I always say context matters. You can't believe anything on the internet. However, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Always. That's why you don't believe these coaches.
There's something to this North Carolina deal. What? Okay. I don't know. But where there's smoke, there's fire.
Adding him to the list. North Carolina.
I don't believe the Colorado thing. I think fans did that because they just want everybody just want to hoard. I don't believe in my heart of hearts. I really don't believe in my heart of hearts that Coach Prime will over recruit these two young men.
Has Coach Prime came out and said he's not interested?
I can't say that. Maybe
Okay.
somebody.
If he hasn't come out and been like, I'm not interested or whatever, cool. But I'm telling you, the coaches that are first out are always the ones. And I'm just saying, any coach that has come out and said immediately that they aren't interested, pay attention. It's the best I can tell you.
Okay. I don't believe, like I said, I don't believe Prime would over recruit.
He's already came out and said it.
They said he tweeted.
Listen,
he tweeted they're good.
I'm going to tell you guys this, and then I will back off this, and I won't say it again. The people who have been subscribed to my channel for a very long time know how I get with these things, and there's some things that I might know, that I might not say I know, that I might hear, that I might not say I hear. Listen to the words I'm telling you. These coaches that are coming out and saying certain things are not always acting like the same way behind the scenes. I'm just saying, don't trust these coaches. Don't trust them. And I'm not saying this about Coach Prime because I don't know. I before we started recording this, I didn't know what Coach Prime was saying or doing. So I didn't know he had already came out. That actually, whatever. I'm just saying. This is a business.
It is. I know who does know. My man Bishop Newkirk, the gumbo is fire. Y'all clap it up for 19. I said y'all clap it up. I said y'all clap it up for 19 months. Coach Hayes and Really Flawed spitting that fire. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bishop in the building. Appreciate you, man. Much love to you.
You know what? I really like the Louisville move. I really like it.
Louisville is kind of sneaky, baby. It's kind of sneaky. But here's
what
what
about
I'll
Texas
say.
Tech?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Tech.
No, but I'm just saying. Oh,
you ducked a little bit. There's a glass between us.
I like land animals. Okay, I'm not really.
I see you got a little cougar going on around here. I see. Is that cougar or is that battle cat? Which one is it?
It's a leopard. Okay, it's a leopard.
More like Cringer.
I don't know. Whatever.
You know who that is?
What? Who?
You don't know who Battle Cat and Cringer is?
No. Was that before my time? Listen, old man. Do you know who Dora the Explorer is?
Yeah, with the Hold up. You don't know who Battle Cat is?
No.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
That damn G-Zeros.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Damn
Do you know who Dora the Explorer is?
Yeah. Nobody knows her nationality either. She like Nico. She just wear a book bag.
Right. They're just knocking him, and I'm like, are y'all sure that's his ethnicity? Like, y'all are going in because you're so racist that you're not even getting it right. Oh my God. Imagine being so racist that you just spit out venom just because.
I'll say, see, I told you Bishop is all knowing. Look at that. He-Man. That's what I'm talking about. Huh? Hey, real quick. What was
they must be in your
name?
age group.
What was He-Man's real name? Come on, y'all. Come on.
We're about 5 minutes from the show going off the rails. Listen, if you are new here, we're about 5 minutes from the show going off the rails. So I just want to apologize.
There you go, QB. Nobody say Adam off in the. Look at that, boy. Hey, we done went so crazy. We done changed aquariums around here, man.
Oh, where do these fish come from?
Oh, man, look here, man. I got the power of what I do. But anyway.
Fishy.
Thundercats. Ho! Anyway, anyway, here's what I want to say. I think it's those four. What
four do you think?
I think there's a West Coast team in play here. I don't know if it's a Euclid. I don't know if it's I always call them Euclid.
My
Not
friend calls them
ukulele.
eucla. That's hilarious.
Because I was going to say ukulele.
But why would you want to go there, though? They
I don't
have
know.
anything. Yeah.
They don't have, the West doesn't have anything else. Like, it's all like,
Yeah.
kaput.
It's either them or USC.
Or
What
USC.
about, what about, who are the teams on the West? Utah, Arizona.
QB, go to sleep.
I'm straight.
Hey, QB,
I'm
go
straight.
to sleep.
Arizona State doesn't need anybody. Utah, Washington. I'm just thinking of those like schools that we never talk about that always happen to be in the conversation. I'm gonna tell you, if I was Nico and I could pick where I would go, you know where I would go?
Westward, yo.
You know where I would go?
Westward, yo.
Well, what team do you think?
Give me an area. West, north, south, east, what? Give me an area.
No, because it's gonna get.
Don't say Miami. Don't say Miami just trying to be funny.
I mean, if Miami was available, I would go there 100%. But you can't make that move right now with Carson Beck just throwing today. Like, you just can't. I don't. They might be about the same player.
Hey, shout out to P-Lo, man. You know I love you, dog. I heard the news. I'm hot right now. I'm trying to drown.
Yeah, this is therapy. Come on, get somewhere so I can tell you you're wrong, and then I can tell you.
I'm trying to, because here's what I know about. You don't have to win to be the man at quarterback. Let's just call it what it is.
Correct.
You need to go where they're going to showcase your talent.
Correct. I also, too, I want to dispel a little bit of a myth here that I think happens, that we always think everything is about the monetary money. A lot of times, sometimes it's not just about the monetary money, just FYI. Sometimes it could be about the family being able to fly in to see every away game or every home game, or it could be about a car or paying for an apartment, or it, like, my point in saying that, or having your own trainer, or doing, like, it's not always about the monetary money. So I want us to stop thinking that it's always about the monetary dollar, because there's other things these kids are getting that is not just money. So I'm just calling that out there. Take it for what you want. But where do you think I would go?
Reggie say Dora the Explorer got deported. Y'all tough, boy. If I wanted to go back west, be closer to the only school I can think of that makes sense is Oregon. If I'm thinking westward, if I'm thinking west, UCLA ain't doing nothing. Arizona State ain't shaking nothing. Arizona ain't shaking nothing. I'm trying to think what else. Stanford definitely ain't shaking nothing. Washington State, they still over there in the pack too.
Yeah, Washington's over there too.
Washington maybe, but Jed Fish is there now. Blah. He made me throw up. I'm trying to think who's west that makes sense.
I wouldn't go west.
Okay.
I would take my happy tail.
Syracuse?
Right to Notre Dame. And here's why. They're not in a division. They're not in a conference. So the chances of them going to the playoffs is very, 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 very high. Very high. I think they have the offensive line. They have running back. They have all of the things that I think would make it would be a good option. And I think Notre Dame has the easiest kind of go at it. I mean, who does Notre Dame play besides Miami week 1, where you're looking at their schedule and you're like, woo, this is going to be a tough one. Doesn't happen very often. The competition Notre Dame plays is not like peak competition. Like, we're not talking about like, you know what I'm saying? Like, read out Notre Dame's schedule.
All right, they got Miami,
Okay.
then they got a bye week.
Yeah, they might cook that secondary. Go ahead.
You know what? This violin for you.
Listen, we cannot do this. We cannot do this show if I was not able to give you crap. Okay, that is rule number 1. Okay, okay. So we have Miami. Who else?
Texas A&M.
Okay.
Purdue.
Okay.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Boise State.
Okay.
North Carolina State. USC.
Okay.
They're off again. Boston College. Navy shipman. Midshipman. I don't know the difference between a midshipman and a shipman.
Yeah, you just pissed somebody off.
Pitt Panthers. Syracuse and Stanford.
I mean, the only team that can't beat Syracuse is Miami. So I think that's a good. My thing is, if I want to go showcase my talent and wanted to do it at a place. You know the best part about that is you're this is the only reason why I show up on Mondays, by the way. This is the only reason. Just anyway, no. I just feel like if I'm going to a place where I can get away with playing, he's going to play competition, but it's not going to be as hard as being in the SEC. It's not going to be as hard as being in the Big Ten. It's not going to be as you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Notre Dame is a very safe university for him. And I know a lot of people are like, Nico is terrible. Nico is terrible. Let's be honest, guys. None of these quarterbacks are perfect. They all have their things. Every single quarterback on every single team, all 132 Division I schools have a problem with something with their quarterback. They're not accurate. They can't throw. Whatever.
And think about this, except Miami. Except Miami and Boise State, who's top of their conference. They're actually playing mid to lower tier competition all conferences.
Who is?
Notre Dame. No, I'm saying like Purdue, Big Ten, lower tier.
Right.
We saw SEC, lower tier.
Yeah.
North Carolina State, maybe mid, lower tier ACC. USC right now, mid to lower tier. Ain't no telling what they'll be. Boston College, trashola. The Navy shipman, sail on, my brother. Pitt Panthers, trash. Syracuse, garbage. Stanford, trash. I'm just saying, they're playing some names. You might be on something here, Floyd.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, why not Notre Dame?
The only question I have. Here's the only question I'll have. He damn sure ain't doing what Riley Leonard did with them legs. He's not that kind of guy. So here's the deal. You know you're gonna have him. You got one more year with him. He had a red shirt. He played last. Get out of the way, Phil. He had one. He had the red shirt. He played last year. This could potentially be his last year, but he has more time on the clock. He still got 3 years of eligibility. No. Yeah, 3 years of eligibility left. You know, not including this year. He's red shirt 1. I think red shirt 1, played 1, so he's got 4.
Yeah, and that was his first year as a starter. And and that's my thing is like these coaches are trying to win. These coaches are trying to win.
Y'all stop it. Y'all, they better not.
Travis and Shador's jersey will be retired this weekend. Why?
The fucking Colt. Every time I try to get over this Colt mentality.
Wait. They're joking. Travis and Shador's jersey will be retired this weekend at Colorado. Are y'all kidding?
At least retire. I can understand
retiring. I can understand Travis because he won the Heisman. Yeah, he won the Heisman. That's fine. And I think some universities do retire the jersey number of a guy if he wins the Heisman.
I'm okay with that. But anyway, back to the.
They said it is on Twitter.
I don't care. Here's what I'm gonna say. You might have a point. The only question is, who is their offensive coordinator
for Notre Dame?
Yeah, because I know Al Golden left as their DC, right?
Now that's a good question. I just know that Notre Dame plays football the way I feel like you should. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna, do that. What? I can't say that.
We don't big up anything at Notre Dame. Nothing.
Oh, right. We play them week 1. Right. Wait, is that game in week 0 or is it actually the first game?
Mike Denbach. It's on a Sunday actually. So we playing.
Oh, perfect.
We playing Jesus's football team on Sunday.
Oh God, great!
Oh, hey,
come on.
We'll send the boys right in the pew, boy. We're gonna be. Guess what we're gonna be at?
We need to make this happen. We need to make this happen.
The boys right in the pool. Get some.
We need to make this happen. Okay.
And all black folk when they get wet in the water, what's the first thing they do? Try to wipe the water off their face.
Where if you're a black woman, you try to tie your hair back. Anyways, I know Nope is not talking about me not being a Miami fan where he was letting you get cooked by sitting on the panel while his face was on camera. I know he is not. Not talking about my fandom. Turn your goddamn.
Nope, you my dog, boy. I ride with you. Nope. So Mike Denbach is the new offensive coordinator. Been coaching since '86 at Grand Valley State.
Has he always been the coach? Who was he there last year?
I don't know. Let's see here.
Oh,
no, he just came to Notre Dame in 24. So yes, he was there last year. Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's cool then.
Damn it, he's the offensive coordinator and tight ends coach. You know they running the damn ball.
Listen. Isn't it funny how you can tell by like just the fundamentals of football, like what a coach is going to do? Because it's like,
but to be fair, you very rarely see offensive coordinators be a tight end coach, and the reason he's doing that because he can always pass the tight ends off to the receiver coach and to the O-line coach, so he could go do more. Right? Yeah. The tight end coaches that's why tight end coaches are usually like special team coordinators as well, because. Yeah, they got a room, but it's like, all right, on this blocking play, just listen to coach right there. All right, on this passing play, hey, just listen to coach right there and call it a day. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see our Miami Hurricanes that Sunday. I'm super excited about that.
I don't jump on the boat now. We throw people overboard.
Oh, okay. Is that how you're going to act in front of company? Is that how you're going to act?
You said we.
Okay, it's not a we.
Get down like that.
It's not a we.
No, it ain't no we.
During the season, I wasn't like, what are we doing? Why are we losing to this team? And I wasn't like, who are you worried about us playing?
No, I ain't none of that. I thought you were speaking French. I thought you said yes, we are losing.
Okay. Right. You don't remember. Now you don't remember.
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, none of that.
Do you remember when you almost died? And I was like, hello. I need to know what's going on.
I don't remember none of that.
Okay. Well, cool. If you want to act like that in front of company, you know what I'm saying? See how people react?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You see how people act?
I ain't heard none of that. I ain't heard nothing about no we. I thought you was over there practicing your French for Rosetta Stone. I don't know what you're talking about. But can I bring up something? We already hour and 15 in. I want to bring up something. There's a young man named Chief Borders. Thought it was one of the coolest names when I broke his film down.
Okay.
You know, I believe in life, there are some people who have certain names, and it's like, it only makes
cool
sense.
Names.
Ty Law, Eric B. Enemy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not nicknames. Like, this is their name.
Their name, yeah.
So this dude's name is Chief Borders.
What position does he play?
He played D-line, defensive end D-line.
What a great name for that position.
Right. I think I even titled his video like, he's the chief of all borders, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Reggie, he's out here being funny. Just let him make it. He needs a win.
He went to Florida, University of Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to put this up here. I want you to hear this story, though, and you tell me what you think. So we're talking about transfer portal stuff. Listen to this.
School taught me a lesson. Break that down. Like, what lesson did you learn at each school? Florida, I was the youngest. I was 17.
A jit.
I was a jit. I was just kind of like, wow, like, oh my gosh. I get free gear. I'm in Jordan, and I love the Gators. I love Florida. So much energy, right? Don't pour from an empty cup. Youngin, you giving out so much love, so much energy. Where's your return? Nebraska taught me discipline, how to fill my cup, how I like things done, what kind of people I want in my circle, just mental health. Pitt, I was able to kind of sit back and see how does my plan and my mental health, how does that work for me? Can I apply it here? Love the game, love football for what it is. And I feel like UNLV teaching me how everything come together. So on my victory lap, it's going to be a great victory lap. Each school taught me.
Shout out to Nipsey on his victory lap. So what's actually interesting is the thing that I forget about sometimes with these college athletes is that obviously we talked about this kind of, everybody always says it's a bag, it's a bag, it's a bag. Sometimes these guys just aren't happy. Sometimes it's just not it. Like,
but here's my question.
To 4 or 5 schools?
Thank you. Right there is where my problem lies.
Yeah.
He started off with Florida, and he was like, I was young, I was impressionable. You got Jordan, I got all this stuff. I'm giving all this love, but where's the love in return?
Right.
Valid lesson, young man.
Right.
Then you go to Nebraska, and he says, I learned how to pour from my cup. I said, damn, this guy's on it. Kind of forgot about him, but I knew he had left Florida. Then he said Pitt.
That's what I was like. Golly.
I was like, so then he's learning how to do this. Now he says UNLV. My only problem with the philosophical words that came out of his mouth was every level you seem to go down a notch. You went from Florida to Nebraska to Pitt to UNLV.
Bruh.
I'm only saying.
It's clearly you. It's not them, bruh. It's you.
Like, you didn't say, hey, I was at Florida. I was young, dumb, stupid. Like they said, legit. I went to Nebraska. I learned this. And then my third year in Nebraska, I made this step. And my 4th year in Nebraska, you like, oh, I learned a lot. Let me go down a level. I learned even more. Let me go down a level. I'm not knocking it. I'm just
no.
But what I'm also saying is, what are you chasing, bro? What are you chasing?
The $1 million question.
No, but my thing is, okay, you're at Florida. I get that. You go to Nebraska. I get that. But this is kind of where I have an issue with, and I guess it's the coach side of me. None of these 4 schools was a good fit. I mean, you're not vetting them properly.
Correct. Again,
they're still using you. They're using you because you were a Florida dude. You were a highly recruited player.
Correct. Well, I think there's bad vetting though on both sides of the coin. I don't think these coaches are vetting. I don't think anybody is vetting, because I think the truth of the matter is everybody is trying to figure out how to play the money game and how to play the culture game and how to play this game and how to do all the things. But like always, we forget the most important concept is the people.
But for the smaller schools, it's a win for them because, hey, we don't have no money, bro. Right? You had your shot at that. Second is, I may be able to use your name to grab another name.
Right.
And it's almost like that thing I told you, my man Blue told me about the NFL. The NFL loves issues.
Yeah.
The NFL loves that you are a weed smoker.
Yes.
The NFL loves that you have a DUI on your record.
Yes. Especially before the draft.
Yes. The NFL loves my man with the gas mask, Tunsil, whatever his name was.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Tunsil.
Laramie. It was Laramie Tunsil.
Is that his name for real?
I think his name is Laramie, not Jeremy. Somebody was
maybe you're right. Also, somebody wrote in the comment that Ty Law isn't his real name, and I am disgusted.
It might be Tyrone Law, but the law is
I'm disgusted at this point.
Yeah, his name is Laramie. But anyway, what I'm saying in the whole thing is, I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, sorry. By the way, have you ever Googled tonsils and saw the picture that came up? That comes up.
I see some right now. I'm cool. I don't want to see tonsils.
Okay, you saw it.
No, no.
Look weird.
Not doing that. Not doing that. Never Google tonsils. I gotta set myself. I'm cool with mine.
Listen, if you're listening to this, don't ever Google tonsils because it's the weirdest images.
Now you have just made tonsils algorithm go skyrocket.
Right. It is one of those things where you're like, it looks like that.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yes, but I agree with you.
You may never see that angle, but we see it. So anyway, what was I saying? Damn it! What was I saying? I was talking about Chief Borders, but I'm trying to think.
I don't know. Since you don't know,
we're talking about my man Blue. We were talking about Laramie Tunsil. The smaller schools are like the NFL. They love the fact that you are devaluing yourself, right? Because here's the beauty of it. Like I said with the Honey Badger, right? Tyrann Mathieu. We might get you in the 5th round, the Honey Badger. Yes. We may get you in the 5th round, but you're going to still play like a first rounder.
Absolutely.
When that ball snaps, you're not going to break on that ball and be like, man, they picked me in the 5th round.
Yeah. No,
you're going to pick that ball up like a first rounder.
Yeah. No, so, I completely agree.
UNLV over there, shout out to Rich Rod, that's at UNLV. He, in essence, has picked up a 4 or 5 star athlete, highly recruited dude.
Yeah.
In essence, now if he don't turn out to be nothing, you can always blame the kid. Right? Sure. You can always blame the short.
Well, and it's just one of those things too, where it's like, again, it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. All of this is feeding off of each other, right? Like all of this, it's kind of like the world, but it's like enough players don't realize how much power they have and how much change they can actually create. Stop Googling stuff.
Bro, I'm sorry. I sorry to interrupt you. This kid went from, you talk about devalue, bro.
Where's this kid at now? Where's he at now?
He's at UNLV.
Okay.
This kid's had, offers Ohio State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, your top programs. Guess what his ranking is right now overall?
Probably 200 and something.
1,578th overall player in the transfer portal. You're the 156th best edge rusher in the transfer portal.
I think Colorado needs edge rushers.
Oh, they'll go ape shit over him, boy.
He'll be a dog.
He a dog. He just need an opportunity. He a dog.
I'm just kidding. Colorado, don't you dare pick up that player. No. Discipline.
Dan Mullen. It is Dan Mullen. What did I say? There go there. It is Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen.
Chris Bradford, thank you for keeping him honest. He's trying to tell the whole story. Nobody knows what the story is or who the guy is. Then we looked up tonsils on accident, which was a total mistake because the things that pop up are so random. So let's not do that. So yeah.
Oh, Rich Rod is back at West Virginia. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Chris.
What else you got for me, Hayes?
Thank you, Chris. Okay. No, so that's what I had right there. Like, I don't know. Damn, cane juice biting. Man, let me pour a little out from a dog, man. Street. I think that boy.
Yeah, so I'm going to say what I want Street to know since he's here.
Street got a Tesla. He been stuck at the charger charging up.
He's charging. So what I want Street to know.
No. Right now. Oh, it's going. No, yeah, but I want you to know. It's going to get your violin ready because I'm waiting for this one.
Well, go ahead if you're ready.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't know. I wasn't. I need to think. I don't have a good one today. I usually come.
It's been 7 days. And here's
because you know what? I usually have a couple and I'll put them on my phone. And then kind of as time goes on, I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. Like I can't really validate that one. You know, like because I want to stand on it.
Perfectly into my segue.
Yeah.
I want women to know that it's all right when y'all do it, but ain't it okay when we do it? When y'all want us to be prepared or ready or on time or whatever, it's a problem if we're not. But when y'all not, there's always an excuse. Well, I wasn't really feeling it. I had my notes, but I wasn't. Shows at 7 o'clock every Monday. Well, maybe 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30. But y'all know what I'm saying.
I don't think we actually should use the show as a
no, but we're just saying that men want women to know that sometimes we might be late and it happens.
Okay.
But that's when fair. Y'all late, we can't say a word.
So you know what I've realized during this segment? I don't know what type of women you all meet, but I'm sorry that these are your experiences. Like, women, you know what? Screw this. Let me speak to the ladies. Ladies. Come on, ladies.
I'm sorry. Juan.
I'm talking to the ladies.
This is why Zaquan left. Talking about women. We just lost Zaquan Patterson. We lost Zaquan Patterson because it's woman.
Because ladies, listen to me, honey. Listen, ladies. Let's loosen up just a little bit. Okay. If they're running a little late, it's okay. If they've had a bad day, it's okay. If they need a safe space to vent, let them vent. Put it in a vault and don't bring it back up. It's okay. It's okay, ladies. I'm realizing, and listen, I know what you're going to say back to me right now. The women listening to this are saying back to me, I got it. Okay. But for a 1 week, do him a solid and just see the results. For 1 week, give him the benefit of the doubt. From 1 week, just loosen up a little bit. That's it. So I'm going to talk to the ladies. I'm not talking to the men tonight. I'm talking to the ladies. Take a deep breath. Okay. It's going to be okay. If he's late, he's late. If he didn't plan the right date, appreciate the date he planned. Okay. If he wants you to get dressed up, go put those heels on, girl. You see what I'm saying? That's it. This is for the ladies. I'm speaking to the ladies tonight. Because you know what? Because I'm a woman, I can do what I want. so I'm speaking to the ladies. Okay. That's it.
There's a problem.
That's it. I'm speaking to the ladies. Street's not here. You know, I'm Street. So because I'm Street, I'm speaking to the ladies for Street. You know what I'm saying? Because my body isn't even in the center. So technically, I'm not even here. So what you think you see is not really what you see. I really wasn't here tonight. I am really Street in somebody else's body. So there is that. But yeah. It's because, Ellen, he holds me to the highest standard of the land. I come in and I'm like, I don't like the things that I had. I think I could come up with better things and I just don't like them. I don't like them. I think that's okay. Just like at the beginning when we started doing this and you used to whine and complain and you hated this segment.
I still whine and complain because y'all don't listen. This is about our 97th episode and you come up here with nothing.
Because I don't like it. I don't like it. I think we need to stop living in a.
You had 7 days.
We need to stop living in a world though where everybody's always supposed to have it figured out. Works for everybody else. Check on your strong friends.
You had 7 days.
Stop berating me in public. Check on your strong friends.
No, you see what I'm doing? We're playing role reversal and you don't even know it.
No,
that's how we feel.
But honestly, my thing, I like to say things are like impactful, you know. But I'm street tonight because that's the body I'm on.
All right, so let's start over. What is something you want men to know?
Sometimes I don't feel like it. Period. Full sentence. Period.
That's the only excuse you get is period. Other than that,
period.
What do you mean?
Ooh, I can use that? Say less. Say less. So what's yours? Street is non-binary.
And sometimes men just don't feel like it.
Perfect.
We don't feel like hearing that mouth. Yeah. Did you take out the trash? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Is that what you hear?
After a while, you go straight Charlie Brown. Wah, wah.
That's really sad. I hate that for you.
This is why men do this. This is why men do this. We just like this. We go into our own little world and be like this.
Good. And if that's what you do, you should do that thing. You know what I mean? This is 7 days. 7 days.
But we can't even have these really flawed. Have you seen the ones where the women take the man's thing and they break it?
After spending all that money?
Yeah.
I don't like that's why I said, you know what? I'm going back to my original because I'm trusting my intuition on the thing that I said. I'm going back to my original. We need to take deep breaths. Ladies. Okay. Be the safe space. Be the peace. Be quiet. Let him do his thing. Let him have this week. Okay. Because next week I got our back. Okay. But just give him this week. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So there's always a plan.
There's a whole like category on YouTube about fiance smashes man's PS5. Girl goes viral after destroying boyfriend's PS5.
I don't even believe those people. Wait, hold on. I do want to say though, are we doing the draft? Is the draft next week?
Who knows?
Yes, the draft is next.
Have you LNG?
Yeah, you know what? It's like the simple things, but you know what? They don't want to do the simple things. They want us to do the simple things. They don't want to do the simple things. That's a different conversation.
I feel like a Scooby-Doo movie. Damn you, LNV. Until next week. Oh.
Okay, so how are we going to do the draft? How are we going to do our picks? Are we going to do the top 10 picks? Are we going to do...
When is the draft?
The draft is next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do it Monday.
Yeah, but what is the thing? Are we going to do top 10?
Of course. I'm gonna say whatever Mel Kiper said. He's always wrong.
Whatever Mel Kiper says, rotate him a little bit.
No, I'm gonna do exactly what he said.
Maybe we should do what we think should happen. What we think our top 10 is.
Okay.
Everybody is very upset about the transfer portal loss.
Bro, Zaquan Patterson was big time, man.
How long had he been with Miami?
He was a freshman last year. This would have been year 2, right, guys?
What number was he?
20.
Oh, okay. So was he? So then it was a shock.
My bad. I pulled a cord out. What'd you say?
It's okay. So it was a shock. It's a shock then he's in there.
Yeah. I guess right after the spring game was Saturday. So maybe he didn't get enough playing time. I can't tell you. Why? Because it wasn't televised.
Who's Josh Horton?
Oh, I saw that too. A D lineman.
Oh, he left too?
Bah humbug.
Is he big? What's his size? What's his measurables? I know a team that might be looking.
That's why you got your pen out?
What are his measurables?
5'8". He's strong as an ox. And he run
about okay. Then
8,
that's the other school. That's the other school. That's the other school.
He run about 5'8", 40. He a
that's
dog.
The other. Sorry.
Opportunity.
That's a different school. That's a different school.
Yeah, he just need an opportunity. That's it.
That's a different school. That's a different school. He's solid.
He's solid. Y'all talking about he's solid. Y'all talking about. So they're gonna retire.
I don't believe them. I don't believe them. No.
I do. I do believe it. I
do believe they are absolutely 100% telling the truth. But I don't believe them. You know what I mean? You're right. That sounds like exactly something that would happen. I also, can you imagine, poor Shiloh. Poor Shiloh. What is he? Just chop liver? You're going to have somebody else besides your son wear your number? Anyways, I got to get off this. Because the next thing I'll start, you know what?
Spring games coming. College football. I don't know if that's all. I don't know if that's all. It's a 3 million followers. So I think that's the real post. I'll put it up here for breaking news. Would you mind hitting the ESPN for me, the beat?
I don't know, but you need to get that.
Would you? Da-na-na, da-na-na. Shador Sanders, ESPN college football has 3 million followers, says Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter will get their jerseys retired by Colorado on April 19th.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
I understand Hunter because he won the Heisman, but damn, Shador isn't even the best CU QB that goes to Cordell Stewart or Saul Anise. Michael Buffington said they didn't even win a bowl game.
Aren't we supposed to?
Let me make this a little bigger so y'all can read them. Y'all can enjoy together. Real high bar there in Boulder, huh? Think about that. 12 you can make a case for. 2 is just above 500. And see, this is what makes...
Why is Arch Manning trending?
I don't know. But this is the kind of stuff that makes you sound like a hater. It really does. But you're really not. But this is the kind of... Okay, here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example of not telling anyone no.
I really didn't do myself a solid with this hairstyle. Anyways, go ahead.
But this is a perfect example of not telling anyone no. No, sir. No,
100%. 100%.
No.
I agree.
And we have a criteria. You want to retire a jersey, there's a 5-year window, 7-year window. Most people, you don't do it immediately after a season.
And you cannot have somebody wear somebody's number. You know what I mean? Don't give out the number. You don't have to retire it. What? And again, what about Shiloh? Because I'm not trying to be funny, but what did Shador accomplish more than Shiloh?
He's the CEO of the Headache Gang. Stop.
I don't know.
See, this is what makes you feel like this. When people watch this and don't know any better, see, this right here is what make Coach Hayes look like a hater, because there's so many people that don't follow sports, but they follow this and they're like, that's a great idea. But if that's the case, he threw for 3,000 some yards.
Right. He didn't break. He wasn't
he didn't throw for 5,000.
Oh, God.
Oh, he threw for 4,000 yards and some change. But what
and again, like, because we're talking about it makes it sound like we're not hate. I mean, he's a fantastic. I mean, he's going in the first round football. Like, it's not that. It's just, what are we doing? I don't know.
Look, who is king, I guess, makes the rules, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I like, those are the kind of things where it's so outlandish. Cordell Stewart was 27-5-1 recorded as a starter. As a starter, he only lost 5 games, tied 1.
I don't know. When is this transfer portal open? Is it Wednesday? Because, okay, when things like this happen, I feel like we forget about the team. Like, I feel like we forget about, like, what if Caden Salters has the exact numbers that Shador had? Shador had what, 3,900 yards?
No, he had 4,000.
What did he have exactly? Do you know? Because I guess my point is what if Caden Salters goes 10-2, makes it to the Big 12 championship game, and has 4,200 yards, a little bit more than Shador.
He had 41-34.
So what if he has 4,200 yards and goes 10-2 and makes it to the Big 12 championship game and they lose it? Are we going to retire his jersey?
What are we doing?
Like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, what's the standard? What is it? What's the actual standard?
But here's what's funny. And, like, this is the kind of stuff that makes you, like, you be like, come on, Prime. You contradicting yourself. You're being a hypocrite, bro. You just blasted the NFL Hall of Fame for saying
for letting anybody in.
And I get it, dog. It's your son. But, son, you maybe get your jersey retired, but give it some time to see if people break it. That's why they don't put you in. You have to be eligible to go into these quote unquote Hall of Fames
but I always say that. I always say
retired Sean Taylor's jersey, dog.
I always say the contradictions are crazy. They're crazy. It takes a little bit of critical thinking and a little bit of common sense to see the double standard. But I don't understand what he did. I just don't, I mean, and that's not a knock on him. And if they want to do it as a nod to Prime, then do Prime's number and don't let anybody wear that jersey as long as he's the coach of the school or something. I don't know. This is just too much.
Yeah, it's almost like, man, I want you just to hurry up and buy. Like, hurry up, get your stuff and go, man. Like,
you know what? This is above my education level. Okay. This is above my education level.
But this is like,
it's above my education level.
Chris Bradford says Coach Hayes Prime didn't make that decision, but he also ain't stopping it. Okay. All right. I don't care who made it. I'm not blaming Prime. I'm just talking about if you stood up for it, to your point where you ain't I don't give a shit no more, man. I can't.
Yeah. It's at the end of the day, neither one of us are going to lose sleep over it. But it's one of those things where it's like, so where's the threshold? How did he get it? How did he get there? Are we not going to talk about that? Or are we just going to, I don't know. Listen, can they stop the run? I just want you to stop the run. Okay? Can we stop the run? Is there guys in the trenches? Can we stop the run the ball, have guys in the trenches? Is that a possibility? I don't care about a guy who is a receiver that's 6'4", that has 61 catches over 5 years of playing football. I don't care about that. I am focused on, can we stop the run? Can we run the ball? What does the trenches look like? Can the linebackers tackle? At this point, I'm just going to recenter myself
I
and
hate to say
recenter my
it,
energy.
it also feels like Travis has something to leave at the university, like the Heisman Trophy will stay in their trophy case for life.
Yeah.
You know, he gets one as well.
Yeah.
And in 10 years, I want my son to still be remembered at Colorado, right? Like, I'm just saying that's how I feel.
Respectfully, it's giving pick me.
I never understood the giving thing. Like, it's giving. I heard somebody say the other day, it's giving childish, but
it feels like pick me. It feels like, but remember, but what about, but don't forget about, remember my son?
I just,
oh man, it's giving. It is what it is. Oh well. So,
hey, Don, ask Coach Prime if he ever beat Miami. All right, enough said.
Oh God.
How about that? Since y'all love to bring up Miami, come on.
Hey, let's be honest. He doesn't watch football. He has no idea.
Why don't you ask Coach Prime, Don? Why he ain't calling some of his Florida State buddies to come coach with him? He went and got our strength and conditioning coach, Warren Sapp, Ed Reed, his homeboy, Ray Lewis, his home. I don't never hear him talk to nobody from Florida State. Do he call anybody from Florida State to come holler and be like, huh? I'm waiting. Crickets. Golly. Rider. Anyway, that's yeah. Shout out to the boys, man. Y'all do what y'all doing, Boulder. Again, that's just a don't say no moment. And that's just a don't say no. You got to tell people no, whether it's his deal, whether it's the administrative deal. What the hell is that? What it was the integrity.
It was a shark fish. What is it called? Anyways.
Hold on. One last Google.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think at the end of the day, these people are going to do what they're going to do. It's cool. And like I always say, doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to think it's cool. Just because I support a program, just because I support a coach, just because I support a team, doesn't mean every single thing that coach does and that team says or whatever, I'm going to celebrate it. So,
wow, they already got it. I typed in how many Colorado jerseys have been retired at the school.
Okay.
Colorado has retired a total of 6 jersey numbers in their football program history. The numbers are 24, 67, 11, 19, 2, and 12. These numbers belong to Byron Whizzer White, Joe Romy, Bobby Sanders, Rashawn Salam, Shador Sanders, and Travis Hunter. It's already rolling.
Did they say number 24?
They did say 24. Don't somebody
wore
24?
24 this year? Right? I think it was Preston Hodge.
I'll be lying if I told you. I don't know.
I think somebody
wore it. The roster.
Wait, they called it a well shark or sharkfish. Yeah, one of them.
Hold up.
That thing was huge.
You think Coach Prime care? Hold up.
Listen.
Let's see. Let's see if people respect the number. You said 24?
Yeah, 24. I think that's Preston Hodge.
Tawfiq Baya wore number 11. That was retired.
What?
Yeah. Number 19 was not worn.
Okay.
24 was worn by Preston Hodge.
So
67. I know. I'm just trying to find the numbers. Hold on. 67. 67 was not worn. And then, of course, 2 and 12. So 24 and 11 were worn.
So what's the point of having your jersey retired if it's still going to be able to be worn?
I don't know. I don't care, man.
I think Nope thinks I'm smarter than I actually am. I told him it was above my education level. Gosh. I don't know why. I don't know why you in the chat, you people in the chat have such high expectations of me. Okay? I'm doing the best that I can.
Hold up, man.
Why are those expectations so high?
I gotta see what the hell Byron Wizzy White was.
I want to know why your chat has such high expectations of me. I told them I'm just, you know, just an average girl.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah. But where did it go? It literally just swings by like every 30 minutes and just swoops in. And we don't
Byron White, Wizard White, he's a judge. Okay, cool.
So retired jerseys, though, don't mean anything because they've already worn them. Preston Hodge played last year.
I don't know.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, so if that's the case, retire them all. Sure. If they don't,
I just, like I said, I get it. I understand if the Heisman is a thing. Hell, if that's the case, you should have retired Eric Bieniemy jersey.
That's what I'm saying. Start retiring. Didn't the kicker go there that went to the NFL? I know. A left tackle did that went to the Green Bay Packers. So, like, what are we doing? Start retiring these numbers, folks. It doesn't matter if they're going to get worn anyway.
Eric Bieniemy had 1,600 yards rushing.
What?
Damn.
What year?
1990.
And how many games did he play?
11.
Wow.
On 288 carries. That's 5.7 a carry. That's 148 yards a game.
Wow. Where is Eric Bieniemy coaching now?
I think he had the Burger King Hefty hose. I think he coaching fullbacks.
Who do you call that? Who was that?
The Burger King Hefty hose?
Who is that?
I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, I don't know.
He's the running backs coach for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, that's right. He sure is. Because there was a lady who was coaching and they gave her
lost her job. Yeah. So much for DEI.
She was a DEI hire. She got replaced by a DEI hire.
Swap them out. Anyways, all right. I have nothing more to add to this. There it is.
I don't know what the hell that was. Well, shout out to Hayes Street, man. Shout out to my dog D Streeter, not in the building, man. He had to take care of some stuff tonight, man. But as always, we got Cringer, aka Battle Cat, filling in for. When I leave here, you have to go Google that. Google Cringer on YouTube, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Only if you do the growl again.
That's how you used to go. Rawr. Yes, sir. Rawr. But anyway, filling in.
Anyways, well, Street, I just want you to know, although you can't be with us in full body today, you're with us in half body avatar-ish.
Matter of fact, Street. Matter of fact, dog. Matter of fact, since we've been doing this and Florida's come on, this is the first Monday you've ever missed. And so with that, we're going to retire your jersey. We're going to put you in the Raptors, dog. We're going to put you in the Raptors. Ceremonial music, please.
Street was a wise man. When he started his career,
he started his career calling a Dolo Cam. He just followed one player around in Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
What he realized was He need to widen the damn lens to see all the players. Oh no, man! Shout out! We just having
shout out to
Let's
Street.
get out of here, man.
All right.
So
Well, wait, remember when you used to say, what did you say? I'll catch you at the 50-yard line. Oh.
Peace. Catch you at the 50.
I want to see more sharkies. More shark fishes.
Shark fishes?
I think there's more than one. I think there's two.
Anyways,
we'll see. We'll catch you guys at the 50-yard line. Maybe, if you're lucky. If you're freaking Quinn Ewers, he'll fumble and you'll catch him on the other team in the end zone. I'm over it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Well, Footballville mama's so big she could jump in that aquarium and empty that thing out. Splish splash, she was taking her bath.